Let's talk about tips I wish I knew before I took the bar exam. Now, let me let you in on a little secret. You need to eat, breathe, sleep the bar exam. I don't want you talking to no one or anyone else besides maybe your tutor or maybe your bar prep friends. You need to only think about the bar exam. The first tip on how to pass the bar exam is to pick a schedule for 8 weeks and then stick to it. Why? Because you don't want to switch up in the middle of bar prep, let's say 4 weeks into it, and switching to a new strategy. So, for example, if you pick Barbary, then stick with their commercial outline for 8 weeks. Now, if you want to see my daily schedule of what I did when I studied for the bar exam, comment below and let me know and I can make a detailed video. Moving on to my next tip, which is go through as many past bar exams and model answers as you possibly can. You want to see common themes, patterns that the bar exam graders are looking for. Here's what I did. Since I took the California bar exam, I went on the California bar website and I looked at all the past bar exams administered from 2000 all the way up to 2019. Now, as a pro tip, all bar exam graders are all lawyers, meaning they get paid for every single page that they grade. So you can imagine that if you were a bar exam grader, that you probably want to get through as many pages as you can so you can get paid more, right? So what these bar exam graders are looking for is just issue, rule, analysis, conclusion. You want to try to write your essays as clean and organized as possible. My next tip on how to pass the bar exam, which is find a healthy outlet for when you're taking breaks. I typically usually lift weights, but for me during this bar exam, I felt like it was very important for me and my mental health to do yoga and to meditate. And that was literally my favorite part of my day before I started studying, was to meditate, stretch, and do yoga. So I would advise that you also find the best healthy outlet that you can while you study. Now, my next tip on passing the bar exam might be a hot take, but for me, I think it's pretty straightforward. But it's basically, if you're taking a commercial bar prep, then don't watch the video lectures. Those video lectures are like 4 to 5 hours per subject. That is, to me, the biggest waste of time. What are you doing the whole time, right? You're literally just sitting there like this, looking down. Maybe you're looking at your phone or, maybe frantically taking notes, but you're not actually actively studying. Instead, to me, I think you're passively studying. Skip all the video lectures and go straight into active studying. Leads me to my next tip on how to pass the bar exam, which is prepare your family, your friends, or your partner, if you have one at the time, that you're going to be gone for the next 8 weeks, which is basically, so you'll be gone for 2 months. You can sacrifice 2 months of your life where you're not going out, you're not partying, you're not, dating or doing anything but focusing on the bar exam. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you need to eat, breathe, sleep the bar exam. You don't need to be wilding out, doing dumb things on the weekend. So tell your family and friends and your partner that you're going to be a ghost for 8 weeks. Now, my next tip on how to pass the bar exam is to deactivate all of your social media, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, just deactivate it. You know why. My next tip is utilizing the correct supplemental resources for the bar exam. But remember, too many resources is bad. And this is because you're going to get confused if you have too many resources to look at. So I would say pick the resources that help you the most and stick with those. The reason why you want to have the correct supplemental resources is because sometimes your bar prep company, for example, if you take Barbary, Themis, or Kaplan, they don't give you enough supplemental like MBEs or performance tests or whatever else you need where you feel weak on. I felt like I had to find more resources to take the multiple choice portion. So what I actually ended up using was Adaptabar for a portion of the multiple choice, and then I would actually use Strategies and Tactics by Emmanuel, and that was actually my favorite supplement because it was a hardcover. So I'm so used to using everything on computer, but it was nice to actually strike out, highlight portions of the book. My next tip on how to pass the bar exam is don't study for too long, man. Don't be sitting down for 5, 6, 7 hours at a time. You need to take breaks. For me, as a pro tip, I would say you need to study between 3 to 3.5 hours per shift. So once you start getting to 4 or 5 hours, you're doing the most. Take a break. Moving on to my next tip, which is to write out 2 essays a day and to do 100 multiple choice every single day, no matter what your schedule tells you. Okay, I'm issue spotting this essay. I'm gonna do a skeleton outline, but you don't actually write out and type out the full essay. So this is super crucial because your mind and your fingers are like, it's muscle memory, right? So you need to practice typing every single day those 2 essays. Now the same goes for the multiple choice. You should be aiming for around 100 multiple choice a day, and this is because multiple choice is all about volume, volume, volume. You need to see so many multiple choice questions that you actually start seeing patterns within the subjects. And that's how I was able to get my score in the multiple choice portion up, because by the end of bar prep, I actually did probably around 6,000 multiple choice questions. Now, my last and final tip for this video, at least, is to write your own essay templates and create your own essay outlines. Now, the reason why you want to do this is so that way you have an exact template of how you want to answer the actual bar exam questions. So for example, if you get a contracts essay, then you can just remember, what did I write for my contracts essay template? Oh, right, governing law, offer, acceptance, consideration. I like to memorize by seeing my essay templates. If you found these tips helpful, then stay tuned for next week's video where I'll be dropping part 2 of how I passed the bar exam.